to Quick Shot Reviews for Cheap Shot Entertainment. I am your host Luke, and today we're going to be looking at the second in the original trilogy of Jurassic Park movies. The Lost World Jurassic Park follows hotly on the heels of the original, however it does fall down in all of the sequel tropes, which we'll get to later. It was released in 1997. It's got a 6.6 on IMDb and a 52% rating on Rotten Tomatoes, and of course it was still directed by the master himself, Steven Spielberg, and I'm sure that he wanted as much for anything that this didn't fall into the standard sequel mould. Unfortunately, it did. When I first saw this movie way back in 1997, I was a bright-eyed kid, a wonder of the world, and I thought this was great. I thought the false finish was really good. Bit of a spoiler there, and it carried on, and it was really cool. And there's some cool scenes in this. It has a decent sort of story to go along, but the problem is, having watched it again as an adult, is that the characters just aren't likeable. You want them to get eaten by the dinosaurs, and you're almost rooting for the dinosaurs, which I think you're supposed to do in this film anyway. Always rooting for the dinosaurs to eat all the bad people. And it's just, it's 1997, it's Greenpeace, it's all this kind of stuff, and it's fine as a movie, but it would have been better as a standalone movie without the Jurassic Park tag, and it was always going to be compared to the original, and it is not a patch on the original. Of course, they couldn't get half of the original cast. Lex and Tim make a sporadic appearance right at the beginning. Richard Attenborough, John Hammond, the main driving force, the heart of the whole film in the first Jurassic Park, is just a cameo at the beginning, and it does explain that pretty well. And the whole setup was that Jeff Goldblum's character, Ian Malcolm, is, he's gone on TV and said there's an island of dinosaurs, and no one believes it. And John Hammond gets Ian Malcolm back in to check on the stability of Island B. There was a second island. This is where he tells him there was a second island, which is pretty cool, as a backup island, if you like, just in case things went wrong, and the preservation of nature, and let the dinosaurs do their thing. So no humans have been on the island for 4 years. But a research team. He is part of the research team. The research team consists of his girlfriend Sarah, an activist known as Nick Van Owen, and of course the field expert he's a technical expert, Eddie, is also in part of that team. So they go in, they want to study the dinosaurs. Unfortunately, there's a second team that was been sent in by the the genetic engineering company that basically put all the money into the first Jurassic Park, the original, the one that's supposed to be a theme park. They've sent in a team to bring back what is theirs, and the whole setup is lawyers. We own this now, so we can go and take it, and we're going to bring it back to civilization and make it work for us. So there's a lot of greed, a lot of 90s greed there, and it's got a great setup. It should have been a heck of a lot better. Problem is, like I said before, you don't enjoy any of the characters, and the characters you're supposed to enjoy are quite boring. Even Ian Malcolm, one of the standouts, and a bunch of standouts of the first film. So yeah, after the downfall of the original Jurassic Park, like I say, they're sent in to photograph and see how the dinosaurs are living on their own. They're self-sufficient. The bioengineering company has a larger plan. They want to bring them back to San Francisco and make like a SeaWorld type thing with the dinosaurs. But as Ian Malcolm said in the first one, life always finds a way, and it does. They take one back to the mainland, causes havoc in probably one of the best sequences in the film, which happens right at the end. Other ones are set up. This one is set up, but I really enjoy this part of the film, and I still do. I think it's quite tongue-in-cheek at times. It's exactly what you'd want from a dinosaur running around a city. And if you haven't seen this film, sorry, I've just spoiled the setup for the last scene, but it's well worth a watch, that last scene. The rest of it is sort of, oh yeah, okay, we're going to do this, that shouldn't do that, but it does do that, and then we'll act surprised when it happens. Yeah, so it's the good guys versus the bad guys, there's no in between, and then you add the dinosaurs in there as well, and that's the selling point, isn't it? The dinosaurs, it's Jurassic Park. Anyway, it stars Jeff Goldblum in this one. He's come back playing Dr. Ian Malcolm. He is the main character, the driving force for the movie. He is flanked by Julianne Moore, his girlfriend in this one, Sarah Harding, who is the field expert, the paleontologist. Pete Postlethwaite plays Roland Tembo, the guy who's hunting the dinosaurs, their hunting expert, their whatever it is that you want to call him. Bit of a knob, really, basically. So he's just going out to hunt the T-Rex. And yeah, there's no other reason for it, really. He just wants to hunt the T-Rex. Don't know what he's going to do with the T-Rex once he's hunted it, but there you go. Questions for hunters. I don't understand why. Anyway, Vince Vaughn plays Nick Van Owen, who is a bit of an activist. He is recognised by some of the other party as being an activist, and animal rights, things like that. And Richard Schiff plays Eddie Carr, who is the technical expert of the whole expedition. The technology, the phones, the hide, the things like that. And of course Richard Attenborough makes a very small appearance as John Hammond right at the beginning of the film, along with Lex and Tim. So yeah, I'm going to give this film an overcooked set piece, because there's plenty of them, out of a T-Rex in America, because nothing would please me more right now than to let a T-Rex run around America scooping up all of the bad people and eating them. But yeah, it's an enjoyable movie. It's nowhere near the level of the original Jurassic Park. It was never going to be that, and it just keeps getting worse from there. Jurassic World is okay, but they're never going to beat the original in this game. But it's worth a watch. Probably a bit too long, but for the last setup, the last sequence, it is very, very watchable for that sequence. But my mind has changed from when I was 14 to when I'm 37, and I've got a YouTube channel telling you how much I like films. Wasted my life. Anyway, yeah, it's alright. It's on Netflix currently, so if you've got Netflix you can go and watch it. It's well worth a watch if you've seen the original. Make up your own mind on this. Like I say, when I first saw it, loved it, got it on DVD, got it on VHS of all things, and I watched it over and over. I thought it was really good. As an adult, still watchable, not as good as I thought, and that is just my opinion. So go and check it out. Let us know what you think of Jurassic Park: The Lost World. Anyway, that is the end of this video, and I will see you next time for quick shot reviews for Cheap Shot Entertainment. I'm your host Luke, and I will see you next time. Arrow.
Hiya.